Mane. Taylor. What's he say? It's a really good ball. It's Shabalala! Goal! Bafana! Bafana! Goal for South Africa! Goal for all Africa! Jambu Lila! Rejoice! Bafana! Bafana!
Hello on this glorious fine Wednesday evening. And welcome back to another episode of How's Your Touch? A podcast for two friends, one a genius, one an oracle, and one a football fan. Meet together, and discuss the latest news in the soccer world, we play games centered around soccer, build drafts, some teams sometimes. And I'm your host, Darren Baidu, aka the Oracle. If you know, you know. If you've been watching by now, you literally know. So retire. Go watch that Best Young Player episode. I was throwing some heat in there. Go look at the previous takes. Go look at the striker list. And look at some previous performances. Go look at the wingers list and look at some previous performances. Anyway, if you can't tell, we just gave Real Madrid back shots.
We are going unhinged.
We bet them over. They came to the carpet. Emirates. They thought they were leaving with something. Here's 3. Go on your way. And they had the nerve to talk about remontada. Bro, if you don't shut your big ass up. Anyway. I'll see you guys in Munich, as they say. Now, I had to get that one off my chest. Just because, bro, after the draw, literally everybody and their mom was like, damn, bro, your season's over. Your season's over. Pre the draw, I kept saying, I don't want Atletico. They're to me a better team than Real Madrid. I want Real Madrid. And people looked at me crazy. Here we are now. But like I said, we'll see you guys in Munich. Anyway, pivoting from Arsenal, we're actually going to the other side of the podcast on today's episode. Tate doesn't know what we're doing today. But today, Tate, we're doing a start, sub, sell with the current Manchester United starting 11.
Oh, this is going to be a stinky episode.
So I have your
No, don't do the most recent. We can throw that one out.
I have your first from I'm on your team website, so okay, I'm looking at the actual men's first team.
Bet.
So we can go ahead and get started. I know how you be feeling about some of these players, Tate, but I need the other people to know. And also, there's a player we're gonna talk about real soon that I've had my take on him. Matic had his take on him. And now the world is seeing. Is it a color thing? It is. In that position, it is. Anyway, let's start. Goalkeepers.
I have to choose one of these?
Huh?
I have to choose one of these goalkeepers you're going to name?
No. So I'm going to go through all 3. You let me know if you want to start, sub, or sell them.
Okay. All right.
That's pretty much what the episode is. We're just going to go through a list of players. Your first team. You let me know if you want to start, sub, or sell them.
Bet.
I feel like it's a simple concept for the fans as well. And
yeah,
I don't know, I feel like the season is coming to an end, and we've done lists, we've done drafts. I just wanted to do something different, and we've never done a team specific episode.
And there's no better team to do it than potentially one of the worst teams that I've ever seen play.
You guys need an overhaul.
We do. I agree 100%.
It'd be interesting who people want or who you will keep, because I think there's certain players you'll keep that I think need to go.
Yeah. So if you disagree with any of these, you gotta let me know.
Well, I can tell you right now, I think we should sell your whole club. Start over, bro. Start over, bro. And get
Bro,
rid of that badge. No, you've got the devil in your badge, and you're hoping for the best.
if you
It's
told
almost
me
Easter, bro.
if you told me I could sell this whole club tomorrow, I'd sell the whole club tomorrow.
All right, Tate. Starting with your number one, buy in there.
Yeah,
All
he
right,
can go.
sub, sell. Let
Yeah,
me know.
let's sell him. I don't see why we need it.
Really?
I mean, so I guess we can keep him as a sub, but I mean, I really don't care about my backup goalkeeper that much. I'd rather keep Tom Heaton than him, honestly. At least Tom Heaton's like.
Okay, I hear it. Buy in
So
there.
I don't know. I mean, Bayern Dier, he saved a pen against Arsenal, and I was like, all right. And then he's been garbage every other time he's played. So I really don't rate him. I mean, he's maybe a little better than we'll talk about him later, but yeah, he can leave.
Yeah, I think buy in there kind of sucks. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, he does. He's just not good.
Yeah, I think your backup goalkeeper is someone who's supposed to come in and like the games your team kind of doesn't care about. So like the
Facts.
care about early stages, FA Cup at early
Yeah.
stages, Europa League early stages, and it should be not noticeable, bro. But like this buy in there is there. Like
Facts.
he's conceded a goal from a corner.
Direct corner kick. Yeah,
Yeah. So yeah, bro. Like,
he's got to go. Yeah,
I don't rate him personally.
me
So
neither.
fully understand. Let's not waste time on him. Moving on to your number 22, Tom Heaton. What do you want to do with him?
Hey, we can have a third string keeper on the bench. I barely seen him play. Darren and I went to a game, United versus Arsenal in New Jersey. He was good then,
Yeah.
I mean, let's keep him for the vibes. I think he'd bring a good vibe to the squad. He's not gonna play, so
I hear it. I hear it. And then of course the man of the moment, huh? The man of the moment, 2025, still has a flat top as a grown man. I'm serious. That was the first warning right there, bruh. Big 2025. Andre Onana.
yeah, we can get rid of him. I don't think there's any. I think I was excited to get rid of De Gea, not because he's a club legend. I mean, one of the best I've ever seen. But what I started noticing with De Gea, and I'm sure Darren will probably agree with some of this, is the mistakes started coming. And as a goalkeeper, when your mistakes start coming, is where I start to get concerned a little bit. And I thought De Gea through the past few years has been a little more mistake prone. So I was a little concerned about that. Well, was I sorely mistaken? Because I thought De Gea made mistakes. Oh my. Oh, Nana. And I've given this guy, so I've tried so hard to support him. I can't. I mean, I watched a video on X, I guess it's called, the other day. 13 errors leading to goal. And he's been here for a season and a half. That's error leading to goal every 3 or 4 games. I mean, that's disgusting. I mean, there is no way that our goalkeeper should be making. I mean, there's ones where it's like, okay, maybe he could have saved that, but directly the person involved in the air, he can't stay. And I'm tired of this. And this is the utter woke nonsense that we see in today's. Save the ball. That's your job as a keeper. Save the ball. All the best keepers in the world aren't just great with their feet. They save the ball. That's your point as a goalkeeper. And you know what? He can't even play out of the back that well either. So what is the point? I wouldn't start him for the rest of the season, honestly. I don't see what confidence he brings me. I mean, I don't see what confidence Bayern Dier brings me either, but I think Onana, it's also his mannerisms and the way he acts too. I mean, he just puts us on. Darren talked about the Matic shot. He just puts us on thin ice every time he plays. So he can't play. He can't stay at the club.
I told you so. That's all I have to say about Onana, bro.
We'll move on. I mean,
I just think people got blinded by that
Champions League performance.
League run, bro. And even then, I literally kept saying during that Champions League run, bro, we are getting hype about this man's passing. Cool. But we do that with Ederson and Alisson because the base level is they make saves. Like,
Exactly.
bro, if you can't make saves and you can pass, go and play in the midfield, bro.
Facts.
Like, that's all there is to it.
He couldn't play in the midfield though, because he can't. He's not even that good at passing.
Deadass.
Yeah, he couldn't play. He couldn't play anywhere.
Anyway, let's keep it going. I think this one will be quick. Victor Lindelof, what do you want
Yep.
to do, T?
Yep, let's get rid of him. I mean, he was absolutely atrocious at the weekend. He's like a baby, dude. He's like a softest center back I've ever seen.
Yeah, he's soft.
But yeah, no need
let's
to
not waste time on that.
Yeah.
Next, Mazraoui. What do you want to do with Mazraoui, Tate? Because you were big on Mazraoui at the beginning of the season.
I still am.
Wait, bro. I don't see the athleticism. Wait. The boat reading of the game is cool, but in the Prem, you need more than that.
He's not. I don't think he's a starter for me. I think I keep him at the right center back as backup. I'm not playing him at right wing back. He can't do that role. But I'd have him on the bench. I think he's a good utility player, but he's not a starter for me.
I agree. Yeah, I think he's like at a good team, bro. Like Bayern, he would be on the bench. Like,
yeah, so he shouldn't be starting.
Bro, like, 100%. And that's the thing, I guess. Like, to me, it just seemed like, and I think the business around Mazraoui was good. So like that's why I think like he gets a pass. But to me, it seemed like you were buying a player to come plug a hole that was unnecessary. And I get that Ten Hag was the one who brought him in first. But even then, bro, like,
the management has to, I agree with you, Darren. The management has to do better. And it can't be, I think we've become to the point now where it's so important that managers are signing our players. And managers don't stay forever. Like, we need, like, we're playing a 3-4-3 right now. And Ten Hag played a 4-2-3. Like, it's completely different systems. So the Mazraoui signing, I kind of agree with you. I mean, we should have signed a left back over a right back. Yeah. And now we signed a left wing back and not a left back. It's so weird. It's so weird.
And also you had, like, and this is what doesn't make sense to me, is Amos played against Newcastle. So if he's going to get minutes, why go get Dorgu? Like, especially if everybody in the world knows you need a right wing back. Like, you're playing a number 10 at right wing back. Like, but it is what it is, bro. Anyway, moving on. Matthias de Ligt.
I don't know. I don't think he's crazy. I don't think see, here's my issue. I'm trying to be realistic in this and know that we're not going to be able to sign all of these players. So, center back,
mind, you haven't started a single player yet.
I know, exactly, right? Exactly. So, and I think center backs is a place where I have to start some players. And I'm in that center back role. I'm in between de Ligt and Maguire, and Maguire's been here longer and we've sucked. So I would lean towards giving de Ligt the start. Now, I do not think de Ligt is crazy good. I think he's defensively sound when he's in the center. When he gets exposed on, and I'm sure Darren will agree with me on this, but there's center backs that get exposed on the outside, and he's one that I could not have on. He would have to play center back. And I guess in this 3-back system, he's starting for me. Again, because I would purchase players elsewhere, so I have to start him. So he would be my starting center back.
Yeah. No, I agree with what you said. I think the only reason why he starts is because all your other center backs are shit. Like, yeah. I just don't see him getting into the starting 11 of like.
He wasn't
real competitive teams.
No, I agree. It's mid-table center back.
Why you guys are where you're at. Like,
exactly.
I think a lot of these players you're going to say you should start. Like, I look at and I'm like, bruh, you might make a match day team at Arsenal. Like, barring a few who are like actually good.
Yeah, like de Ligt, I think de Ligt would make the squad for Arsenal, but I think he starts over Kivior. But how often is Kivior
with all the injuries?
Yeah. But how often is Kivior
I think you're forgetting that squad? If all our players are fit, Ben White is sitting on the bench.
Right? So yeah, Ben White, he's not better than Ben White. He's not better than Timber. He's not better than Calafiori. He's not better than MLS. He's not better than Gabriel, and he's not better than Saliba. But then I think he's got to be that center back substitution, unless you're saying Ben White and Calafiori are your center back substitutions and outside back, which in that case, he doesn't make the bench.
That's literally what we do, though. And
Yeah.
Timber rotates center back, right back.
And so, I mean, exactly.
It isn't about me. Let's get back to you, bro. Next on the list, Big Dick Harry Maguire.
Listen, I think he has to. We have to be realistic with the squad, right? He has to sub. I understand the sell standpoint, but I don't think we have the money to bring in like 5 or 6 positions, right? In an ideal world, he's getting sold. So if we're doing this as an ideal world where I get to choose anything, then he's getting sold. But I think realistic standpoint, I'm saying he's on the bench. And again, does he start for any Big Six? Does he start for any top half team? I don't think so. Does he start for the bottom half? He starts for maybe half the bottom half. But I think like Brentford's in the bottom half. I don't think he's starting for Brentford. Bournemouth's in the bottom. There's no way Harry Maguire's getting into Bournemouth's squad. So, yeah, that's kind of where I'd sit on him.
That's fair. I don't have much to say on Maguire. I mean, literally the summer you guys bought him out, it's like, bro, this guy is not an 80 mil player, bro. And like you were like, no, bro, he can defend if we sit in the low block. And I was like, sure, but like no player is bought because they can only perform
one-dimensional. Yeah, exactly.
Like,
and he's not the best at it either. So
like, and that's the thing. I think, at least for me, Maguire, what I do like about Maguire is he's not as scared as your other center backs of getting destroyed.
I agree.
To him, it doesn't matter. Like, effort is the thing. It's like, at least I went out there and like marked the man. Like, he's the only person in your back three who will step out of position to go press somebody in midfield. He might get spun, but like it's because that's what your manager is asking them to do.
We have another one, I'd say.
Sure.
Yeah, and you know who it is. I think you know who it is, but yeah.
But I'm talking about like actually like
playing right now
over the course of their time at United.
Oh yeah. I agree.
Prone, I will never hide from the moment.
I agree.
I think it has been Harry.
And then he has to stay, right? Because I mean, yeah, he has to stay for just that reason alone.
Yeah. Also, I think a lot of United fans right now are thinking about an overhaul being like, bro, it doesn't happen that way, bro.
Exactly. Like, and the signings we make can't be
happen now.
Top tier signings either. And they have to be guys to.
What you guys are forgetting is we were getting made fun of for paying players to leave.
Oh, don't even get me started on how many.
Like you guys are in a worst case scenario.
I agree.
Like, and
we have like 4 Aubameyangs.
All of a sudden, United fans are like, "Give us grace. Look at our situation." Cute. Anyway, we move on to the next player, Lisandro Martinez.
Another one there. I think in an ideal world, I don't know if I'm starting him, but realistically, he has to start. We don't have another left-sided center back.
Yeah, you do.
And you know, I mean, we'll talk about. I don't know if Aiden Heaven will be listed on the. We'll talk about.
He's on the list.
But he's played like 2 games. I can't say that man should start over Lisandro Martinez. I think Lisandro Martinez.
Well, I'm just saying, like. After 2 games of Gabriel, I knew, or 2 games of Saliba, I was like, even preseason games of Saliba.
And that's kind of my thought with him.
I don't want that Greek freak in my team anymore. And Mustafi, those guys run, and David Luiz running around parading as center backs.
If you want my honest opinion. From what I've seen from Heaven versus what I've seen from Martinez's time here, from the body of work I've seen from the 2 of them, I would, if I had a final tomorrow, right, and I had both of them and I knew they were playing at the highest I've seen them this season, I think I'd choose Aiden Heaven because I think that Aiden Heaven I think he's a little more calm on the ball, and I think Martinez is he's so erratic sometimes, and he's erratic in his tackles too. I mean, Darren and I went to the game and we saw him almost kill a player in preseason. We're like, what is going on? Darren's like shouting for a red card and we're in preseason. Like we shouldn't be having to shout that in preseason. So, and I think, you know, Heaven's given me a lot of a shorties because I actually messaged Darren when we signed him, and I'm like, thoughts on this signing because I didn't know too much about him. And I think Darren said, a little bit of, he's good on the ball, not quite ready for our team yet. So I don't know. I'm kind of surprised he's getting first team minutes somewhere, especially at someone like United, who's supposed to be up at the top. But from what I've seen from the crop of players we have, I think he has to get in. So I guess based on that standpoint, I have to say Martinez sub then, and I'll say Heaven start. But yeah, that was kind of a mix up of the two of them.
Yeah, it's fine. I can put start for Heaven as well.
I don't know what your thoughts are on that either. I guess that's probably kind of a hot take, but
I don't think so. You weren't the only person who messaged me about Aiden when you signed him. I said the same thing to other people that I told you. Bro, he's young. He's very good on the ball. You can tell he's an Arsenal Academy player. Physically, he bullies kids, but that's also U18s.
Yeah, it's so
but
hard. So.
I told you, to me, he's a better center back than the 18-year-old you guys went and spent money on. And I think if you look at when they both played, who looked more comfortable, it was clearly Aiden.
I agree,
but to me also the price tag is a steal, bro. What, 1.5 mil?
Yeah, crazy.
And
again, we're talking about how we can't make a signing to go from 14th place to first place. I don't know that he's someone that brings us in first place right now, but he definitely makes us a better side.
Also, it's the zero detriment to your transfer budget, bro.
Exactly. It's
and I think that's the thing is that I guess we can move on to this next player, Lenny Yoro. Is that for what you paid for Lenny Yoro, there was so much you could have gotten on the market. Because I think for me, you go pay 70 mil. I don't remember what the price tag
was 60 mil plus 10 mil add-ons. So yeah.
You go pay that for a center back who's ready right now.
Yeah.
You don't pay that for a 20-year-old with one good season under them.
It's crazy.
But we paid 30 mil for Saliba after he dropped the best.
Didn't you pay 20 mil for Gabriel?
Yeah. We beat you guys to Gabriel for 25 mil, bro.
I know. I thought that was the case.
That's my point. I think people just see a price tag attached to a player and equates skill level to that price tag.
But
your recruitment has to be better. I do like Lenny. I think personally, especially when he first came in the league, I think he didn't realize how hard it was going to be.
I agree.
In his head, he was this athletic specimen.
I agree.
And he came to the league and realized very quickly, bro, this isn't France, bro.
It isn't. No.
This is literally they're bringing people who are dogs into this league. They might not be good on the ball, but bro, you don't want to be going shoulder to shoulder with that 5'5" Sulemana from Southampton, bro. To you, it might not seem like much, but that man is going to try and kill you. This is a highlight, bro. If he puts you on a poster, he knows he's getting his move. It's different over here. And I think Lenny Yoro has started to learn that. I think now you see him on the ball, make better decisions and get wider for his players. I think he's realizing, okay, these are the strengths of the players I'm playing next to. This is the job I have to do on this team. I have to be the physical guy pretty much because I'm playing next to two fridges. I have to be the one who can cover ground.
Exactly.
So I don't think Lenny Yoro is a sell. I would never sit here and say it's a sell. I think the price tag makes Lenny Yoro look much worse than he actually is.
I agree.
Because he wasn't ready, bro. And that's okay. It's
not for this environment either.
And I just don't think he's ready right now to be that A-level center back. I think if you had someone experienced next to him, I'd be word, Lenny Yoro could look good. But right now, you guys spent 70 mil. You're spending 70 mil to get an A-side center back. And you went and got someone who still has to learn his own craft.
Exactly.
Crazy to me. But what do you want to do with Lenny Yoro?
I think, first off, he starts for me. And this will be a player that I'm really high on. And I think everything Darren said was completely fair. So the price tag, again, I've never been a player for this, but it's United's recruitment. but he also shouldn't be coming in and being relied on like he is
I
when
agree.
he plays. And that just says a lot about this club. For me, the price tag is crazy. And I think part of the reason is because we wanted to get him from Real Madrid. And I think we knew that we had to pay an amount that he and Lille could not deny. And I think we paid an amount. Lille went to Euro and was like, this is literally like club changing money. And he said, all right, I'll go to one of the biggest clubs in the world historically. But I think for me, now talking about his actual play, for me, the past 2 months, I honestly would say after the Southampton game, I've seen a growth in Lenny Euro. I think he learned a lot from the game. I think he got skinned like 4 times, and he realized, all right, this is, like Darren said, this is not France. I can't go out on a limb like that, and I'm not faster than everyone that I'm playing in the Premier League. I'm not bigger than everyone I'm playing in the like that's just not the way it is. So I think it showed a lot of maturity on his side. And for me, on the ball, I think he's very good. I think his physical attributes are also very good. And I honestly think he's probably our best defender. And again, it's saying a lot because he's 18 or not. I think he's maybe just turned 19. But it's saying a lot for me. He's the one piece. And again, in an ideal world, is he probably starting every game? No, he's 18. Aiden Heaven isn't starting every game. But right now, he's got to be. He's the corner piece our defense is built around, in my opinion. And I mean, I'm having him over De Ligt. I'm having him over Maguire. I'm having him over Martinez. I mean, for me, he's our best center back. I think he's faster than all of our other center backs. I think he's better at tackling than maybe everyone besides De Ligt. And, on the ball, I think he's competent too. Again, I think these mistakes are something we should expect from an 18-year-old. And that's kind of why I would say, I'm okay. I'm okay with the way he's performing right now. And I think he's getting better. But yeah, I love the guy. I guess that's my back three then. So, I mean, is that a back three that's going to get me top 4? No. But that's going to be my back three because right now, again, we're at a standpoint where we can't expect top 4 because we're in 14th right now and we're still not safe from relegation. So
a back three, no starting goalkeeper, a backup goalkeeper. What a team.
And that's just to say my first signing would be I would sign a goalkeeper, obviously. So
okay, next. Malacia. This is gonna be quick.
Yep, so next.
Dorgu, I assume you're gonna keep him.
Yeah, but he's gonna be sub. I don't think he's from what I've seen, I like him, but from what I've seen right now, I'd rather have there's several left wing backs on the option on the that I would rather have. So I'd sub him.
Next one, Tate's favorite Manchester United player, Diego Dallo. Let me know, Tate. Let me know, Tate. What do you want to do with Dallo?
He's not starting because I don't think he fits the system we're playing. But he has to stay because he's again, I think he's a technically good player. I think he's up and down the field all the time. Now, this year he's been a little bit of a bozo, and it of course comes right after I make a wild claim that's called hot takes, by the way. So I was going out on a limb that I didn't even know if I believed. I was just trying to make some headlines. And yeah, so I don't think he's a starting right wing back. Again, if he starts at right back in a Premier League club, do I think he finishes top 6? No. I think he's maybe a mid-table right back, but I don't think he's a top 6 right back. And he's done a job this year. I think his crossing's improving a little bit now that he's being required to play more. But again, up and down all the time. Defensively decent, good athlete. I think he's gotta stay in the squad. But I would like to rescind the statement I made earlier. We're gonna act like that didn't happen. I just wanted to let the fans know that yeah, that was a moment of pure disaster. But remember, I've always rated Elise, and he's unreal. Let's just remember that.
Cute. Yeah, I think Dallo is mid, bro. And I said that episode.
He did.
I think he's mid, like literally nothing but mid. Like,
but we have to keep that
as a squad player, though. I think
exactly.
Dallo to me is like almost like Kieran Tierney at Arsenal. Like,
I think
I
that's
just know when you play, you're gonna work hard for the team. It
Exactly.
might not always be the most beautiful thing on the eye, but when you do come on, I know you're gonna put in the shift. So
exactly.
I can't be mad at Dallo subbing, especially given you don't have a right wing back.
So 2 signings, no, 3 signings have already been made, which is crazy, and they're not going to be expensive signings either. So,
Okay, Luke Shaw. Bro, be so for real, bro. There should be only one answer on your mind, bro. I don't want to hear anything but sell for Luke
he's
Shaw,
got to
bro.
be sold.
Bro, he literally he's missed more games than he's played in his United
He's
career.
got to be sold.
And he's been there for what, 10 years?
Mhm.
Bro, that's crazy, bro.
So to me, he's got to be sold. I think if I knew he was healthy, it would be a different story. But he'll never be healthy again. So there's no reason of keeping him. He's been so unreliable. It's sad. I mean, I just think back to post COVID when he was unreal for a year or two, and now I mean, I don't even know if he's played this whole year. He's played maybe one game this whole year. So yeah, he's got
on the other day, right?
He did. Wow, what a surprise! I thought he was dead, and then I saw him walking out on the. I'm like, what? Are we sure that's Luke Shaw?
All right, moving forward. Johnny Evans, Tate. What are you thinking?
I think
Club legend.
I think
bro. Also, I want you to know that literally the summer he came into train, I told you and Nana he'll play for your team, and you guys are like, bro, shut up. What's wrong with you, Johnny Evans? And I was like, bro, he'll play and be your best center back, bro. What are we talking about?
He might have been our best center back. It's crazy. Honestly, he's retiring. He's getting sold, if the case. But when I've seen him play, he's been decent for a 36-year-old.
He's the kind of player you keep around to help Lenny Euro and
exactly.
But yeah, I just don't know if you guys are in the position financially to be able to afford.
Yeah, we can't be
on the bench. Yeah,
sadly, we can't be doing that.
Yeah, and then lastly for defenders, Amas.
In between, I'm not selling him, but he's sub Sash. He's not gonna make the match day squad. But again, haven't seen too much of him. I've watched a lot of a good amount of the academy. He's very technically gifted, very small. He's 17. Small.
That's the issue.
Yeah, and I think
taller.
Yeah, I think hopefully he grows into his body a little. He gets as he gets older. I think he fits the system. I just don't think he's ready at all. So
and also I don't know. I guess sometimes we rule out players because of their size, but there's multiple small fullbacks who have made the position their own. Cucurella, Tariq Lamptey,
one of our best players is 5'6" or he's probably 5'9".
Yeah, you can definitely finesse the spot. Okay, moving on to your midfielders, Mason Mount.
I'm not selling him, and I know that that's what everyone's gonna think. I think Mason Mount fits the system really well, and I think if we keep Amarim, I think Mason Mount can't start, and I think his injuries. I mean, he can't start for that reason. But I do think he's a guy that gets rotated into the starting lineup often. So I'd sub him, but he's definitely in the squad for me, and he's definitely one of the first names off the bench for me. I think again we talk about kind of the way Manchester United play, and I don't think we have enough players that play the simple pass as well. And Mason Mount plays the simple pass as well. I don't think we have enough players that have, a little bit of fight in them. And I think Mason Mount has that. And I think if this man wasn't injury prone, he'd be one of our most important players. But he is. And again, it sucks to have to ride a player like that and keep him on the bench because, I mean, again, in an ideal world, and if we were a huge club that were fighting for titles, he'd be sold. But for right now, he has to stay because we're not signing something better in the market. The price was ridiculous, but we're not signing something better in the market right now, and we can't afford it. So he's on the bench for me. I know you're gonna say he should be sold. I understand.
I don't
hate it.
I just have never rated Mason Mount like that.
Yeah,
I think he is one of the biggest benefactors of English tax. Genuinely.
I agree.
I think him, your Conor Gallagher's, like I think they are the big those Chelsea English kids for some reason get a different kind of British tax.
Levi Colwell for me too.
Bro, like people were pretending he was the second coming of Christ at center back, bro.
I know.
Like people were literally calling him like the next Rio Ferdinand and whatnot. Like, bro, just because he's a light-skinned brother with a fade, don't make him Rio, bro. Like, come on, bro.
Rio's got to be offended by that, low-key.
But yeah, I think, however, like I think Mount, like you said, is that like English talent that gives you fight even when they might be having a bad day.
Mhm.
Like Mount will never cheat you on effort. So yeah, I think that's like sometimes you need players like that in your team,
Yeah.
just like foundationally, just to improve players around them as well. Like knowing, hey man, if I'm not putting it up, like this guy will play just because he will cover every blade of grass playing Cam. So yeah, I think if he wasn't so injury prone, I would be totally down for him being a sub. But me,
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's
people on you, and you're injured the entire time you're here.
exactly. It's and he's been a little more fit than Shaw, which is why I'm giving him a little more time. But yeah, I think if I see another season like this, I won't give him another chance. So
next, Bruno.
He's got to start. So I think Bruno's a polarizing figure for myself too. I think I kind of debated a lot in my head. But where we're at, it doesn't matter. If I ideally think the absolute best team would have Bruno in it, I actually think I've changed my mind a lot, especially since Amorim's coming in. I think I've seen a lot better of Bruno. And I think he's our best player. And I really didn't used to, but he is. I mean, he is finding the moments. He's when he decides to be technically sound and not risky, he's our technically best player. I think I just think I think he's unreal. And I think he's potentially the best signing we've had since I've been like watching Manchester United, because he's been so consistent. Again, is he a stats merchant? Yes, I think he is. I think even this season you look at him and he's got 16 goals and 16 assists or something like that. I mean, I don't know where I've seen that, but like where has he poured out 16 goals and 16 assists? But again, he's just consistently the one that's dragging us through the mud. And I think we had another person that was doing that got injured this season, but I think he's been so consistently dragging us through the mud. So I think he's, again, creatively unreal. He's probably our best finisher at the club, and that's not hard, but he probably is. I think he always works hard. So, I mean, I think he's top 3 cam in the league. So,
Bruno start. I'm not the biggest on Bruno. I think everybody knows that. I think my biggest issue with Bruno is his best moments are when the game is out of control. And that's always been my biggest issue with Bruno. Is that like I just personally could not have my catalyst midfielder only thrive when the game is chaotic. Like, because I think that is a reflection on the rest of your team. Yeah. Because I think even your ball retention as a team, I think a large part of that has to play with your players see Bruno Fernandes picks up the ball and they're like, let's go. Yes, he's going to play that ball regardless.
I do think he's getting a little better with it.
Sure. But I also think that's because like he's looking up there and seeing Hoyland and Xerxes. And he's like, bro, I might as well keep this, bro.
I might as well pass the ball to center back.
I think now he's literally like, bro, if I kick that ball up there, it can be the best ball in the world, and they will still find a way to fumble it.
And it's happened. It's happened.
So what is the point of me putting that ball there? But I think this season he's been good. But I think, to me, this season is a very big reflection of, or almost mirroring, his first season, that COVID season when you guys signed him. And I was like, bro, like, sure, he's bagging and he's getting goals, but like, and this is when I really started pushing, bro, you guys are going to fall apart. United will fall apart.
Yeah.
Because I saw that, like, you're supposed to be this big team, glamorous team, but like in all the big games, your entire plan is soak up pressure and we'll hit them on the counter.
Then why? If that's
And it
gonna
wasn't because that was the game plan. It was literally because your players don't have the ability to control games. So it wasn't like your manager's plan going into games was, oh, like, I want us to be this counter-attacking demon team. It had to be that way because if you're trying to do the ball retention, you get a touch. Someone gets the ball and they're like, man, I'm at Manchester United. I'm a hero. Let's do something.
You're honestly bringing up such a good point because if you look at Manchester United in general, I think our squad has been in this place for so long where we've been between I want to be a counter-attacking side and I want to be a possession-based side. And I think the best we got with it was towards the end of Ole's era, right before he signed Varane, before he signed Sancho, and before he signed Cristiano Ronaldo. I think we were at that point where we decided, you know what? We aren't a possession side. We're a counter-attacking side. We finished second that year. Obviously, we lost the league by like 15 points or something like that. But I think it's the best that I saw Manchester United play in a long time. We went and we tried to make that next step. And exactly what Darren just said happened. Like, we're stuck between 2 points where Bruno is fantastic in a counter-attacking side, but we're trying to be a possession-based side. He can't do it. So, and can a counter-attacking side win the entire league? I think they can win trophies, but I don't know that they can win the entire league. So, yeah, I think again, we're talking about who I need to start and keep right now. Bruno Fernandes is one of the least.
I think he's been your best player this season.
Yeah, so I agree.
To sell him, unless like someone came in with a crazy bid.
Yeah, if we're shouting 100 mil, I'm
not saying all that. I don't think anybody in their right.
I know. I mean, even 80 mil.
But that's what I was gonna say. I was gonna say if Saudi come in with a cheeky like, yo, Bruno, like let's chat to you, 70 mil. If I'm United, I accept that, bro. Like, and I hear you guys. Where are we gonna get 16 goals and 6? We'll be relegated without Bruno.
We won't.
Bro, y'all literally said about Marcus Rashford like 2 seasons ago, bro.
Thanks.
And Rashford is at Aston Villa now. So
we might be relegated without him. But it's okay. We're gonna pretend like that's not about that.
Anyway,
and I'm not sad.
I knew you were starting Bruno. Everybody in the world knew you were starting Bruno. Next, Christian Eriksen.
So
fair. Doesn't even have to be long talk. That brother is cheated death, bro. Like,
hey, what a legend! What a legend! Get out of this club. You need it for your health, bro. You need it for your health.
Huh? He'll tell you that heart attack with Denmark was better than all the heart attacks he has playing for Manchester United. All right, bro. Next, nice and easy. Casemiro, what are we doing, bro?
Hey, bro, let's hit. Nah, just kidding. Get that brother out of here, bro. He's the second person on my list. No, he's third on my list to get out.
Assalamu alaikum, brother. Huh? Learn Arabic, brother.
Listen. Nana's one. He's 2 or 3 for me, and you know who the other one is. So these guys got to get out, and he's
Assalamu alaikum, brother. Huh?
Get him out. 350,000 pounds a week.
Ready for the mosque, bro. You're gonna be
350. 350,000 pounds. Are you kidding, bro? Oh my.
Let's keep it going. Next, Manuel Ugarte.
Again, do I?
Nah, bro, y'all suck. Jesus Christ.
Do I have a better choice? Do I have a better choice than him? I don't know. I'm subbing him because I don't rate him, but he honestly might have to start. But again, I watched the game at the weekend, which this video is probably going to come out later. Our producer, he's got a job, so this is his part-time job.
Some of us are employed.
Yeah, hey, bro, so am I. But let's calm down. But anyways, so we've got jobs. So our producer, he takes a little. So this video will probably come out a few weeks later. But anyways, so the game that just happened was Newcastle versus Manchester United, and what I'd like to say is that everyone was blaming like Victor Lindelof for all these goals. Dude, Ugarte on the first goal is the one that loses the ball, and then we concede right away. How is that not? He's supposed to be. He's no press resistance whatsoever.
Zero.
He's in there.
Zero press resistance.
Do you know who he is? Do you know who he is? He's low key about to be a mini Casemiro. Like if we think about it, the play style is so similar.
That was the confusion when you signed him. Everybody was like, "Oh, we need someone who will cover ground. We need someone who's going to disrupt play and then pass the ball on to our creative players." I was like, "Bro, have you guys watched Ugarte before? Like this, I feel, and this was my issue with the Ugarte signing. I heard all of this before because the summer before, a bald Moroccan dude went and tackled Mbappe and got moved.
Amrabat, honestly.
Like,
I think he's better on the ball. I'm not even joking.
I saw a ball, and Casemiro better get used to those head shapes, bro. That's what he's gonna be seeing.
Him in a few years, bro. He'll be the same man. We're gonna be like, is that Amrabat? Is that Casemiro? Hey, that's crazy.
No, but I think Ugarte, bro. Like, again, how much did you spend on him? 50?
Too much. Yeah, I think it's, and he was 23. So that again, we're united. We're signing young players. And he was coming from a big club, so let's just toss 60 million at him. And that's been our. It's crazy.
Now, do I think he's the worst thing in the world? No, I think he can be a squad player, especially for situations situations like you're up in a game, you want to take out Bruno and then put in somebody who can do defensive work. That's the kind of game you bring Ugarte on. But starting, hell nah, bro.
Nah, yeah, I think I'd rather sign. I'd rather sign someone that's not even that expensive.
I agree.
I just don't think it's the answer.
Next, Kobe Mainu. We know what you're gonna say, bro.
Yeah, he's starting. I think the interesting thing is, where does he start? But I think he could play. I like him. I honestly liked him when he played left 10. So I think that's probably.
I literally said this, bro. When
I know.
I said Kobe Mainu's a 10. He should play in the 10. It should be Ahmad and Kobe Mainu. Like,
I think the reasoning that. At the time, because I think it was at the first video we did, and Ten Hag was still the manager. And for me, I needed him as a 6 because we didn't have any sort of correlation between our back 4 and the midfield.
I said this to you already, bro. He's a young black man with no engine. Like, it's not gonna happen back there, bro.
It isn't, but for where we were, it was the only option.
Sure.
Because
especially because you're 6, and still to this day, you're 6s. All your seasons at the club.
And he genuinely might have to start there. Yeah. But I think right now, I'm tired of pigeonholing anyone into a position where they're not at their best. I'd rather just play, Casemiro there and then put Kobe Mainu in his best position. So, Kobe for me's got to start. I think I'd start him at the left 10. And again, he came on and he changed the game when we played. And again, it's not like he's coming out and scoring 15 goals and assisting 15 times, but we should not be relying on our center attacking midfielder to be putting up the numbers that Bruno does. We should be relying on our strikers and our wingers to be doing that. And this has been an issue that we've had for a while. So when we're playing this system, I think one of our 10s has to be putting up numbers and the other 10 has to be creating. Kobe Mainu for me is the one that's creating, and he doesn't need to be the one that gets the assist, but he needs to be the one that keeps the ball. He needs to be the one that does that work for our team, and he's probably the best in our squad at that. So for me, he's 100% starting. I've talked about him so much, I'm not going to talk about what type of player he is, but he starts.
Yeah, I would have started Kobe Mainu too.
And he's one of the only ones where I'd be like, I think he gets into almost any squad. I don't think he starts for every squad. I used to think that, but I don't think he does now. But I think he gets into the matchday squad of every team, and he's an important piece.
He doesn't start for us, but he
doesn't. And I used to think he does, but
I told you, bro. I told you, bro.
Well, you have someone that I don't like in your starting 11 because of unforeseen, other circumstances.
Okay, but Kobe doesn't play there.
But yeah, he does it exactly. And then you would have to switch, Deckers to the 6. So yeah, it's just not.
All right, next, Toby Collier.
Sub. I don't really have much to say. He's been okay when I've seen him.
I think you have to keep some academy products. I think there are people who fundamentally understand that effort is a non-negotiable at the club. And I think when you have players like that, standard bearers. They might not be the best player on your team, but like
Yeah.
everybody and their mama will tell you, bro, they are going hard in training. Like, and I think Toby Collier, at least even from the way he plays, that's the kind of vibe I get. He gets around busy, real busy, and I like that.
I agree.
And on the ball, like when I first saw him, I was like, bro, this guy's a robot. This is Mini McTominay. He can't move. But on the ball, I think he's improving. Like I think now he like turns. Like I think it's less. There's less fear when he plays.
Yeah, I think
he played extremely safe.
I think McTominay would have started for this team right now. So
I agree.
So that's kind of crazy. But
well, also I've already told you about being strong and fast in midfield in that league, bro. In that league. When Ruben Loftus-Cheek can show up and dominate you, bro. you gotta, when Anguissa can show up and dominate you, bro.
When people talk about Ruben Loftus-Cheek, it's like we're talking about like the second coming of Zidane, though.
Bro,
when you hear old
that's
players,
what he is out there, bro. That's
I
what
know it's crazy. It's crazy.
That's what, bro. Watch what Philip Billing does to that league.
Hey, bro, he's not playing. We can talk about some players, but Philip Billing is not getting minutes.
Bro, watch what he does in that league, bro. What is he?
Billy Gilmore, bro. Billy Gilmore.
All right, moving on to my favorite part of your team now.
This is going to be probably the quickest part of the show.
It's hilarious. Like, all right, let's start. Rasmus. What do you want to do, Tate?
I forgot that we had him too because, I mean, I think he's got to go before some of the other people. I mean,
agree, bro.
He's got to go. And, you know, I think with young talent, you can normally tell if they're going to hit or not.
I like, genuinely, I told you from the minutes you signed him, I was like,
and
bro.
It was so soon.
He has a clean touch, bro. Like,
he hasn't even played a full season. What are you doing? For 85 million. Are you? And I don't think we list it. Like, I don't think people understand the amounts of money that we are tossing at these players. 85 million.
Proven zero, zilch, nothing.
And
absolutely nothing.
It's crazy. Joshua Zirkzee, who we'll talk about soon, has proven more.
I agree.
If you would have told me Joshua Zirkzee was 80 million and Rasmus Højlund was 40, I would believe it more than I do with these other two.
I agree.
Even based on watching them play, I would much rather see Joshua Zirkzee play than Rasmus Højlund.
I fully agree.
And what is Rasmus good at? He fights every defender that he comes up against, and he loses every time. You make a living off fighting defenders, and you can't beat a single defender in a freaking physical battle. How does that happen? You are a striker, and you can't even hit the ball on target. The majority of the time you take the shots. These are the things that he's supposed to be good at. He's supposed to be fast. I've never seen him win a foot race in my entire life. Now let's talk about what he's not good at. We talked about Romelu Lukaku's first touch. And you know why he got hate? We know why he got hate. Because let's talk about this. Because if Rasmus Højlund was not white, it would be a whole different story, bro. It would be a whole different story. But since he's got that blonde hair, he's that Danish boy, it's okay. He's just bad. He looks like a singer, so we're just going to make fun of him that way. But his touch is pretty... Dude, one of the worst first touches I've ever seen in my life. His passing, his hold up. I think he gives better through balls to the other team than he does for us. So,
I agree.
I mean, I'd take him off our hands for, if someone offered me $5 million, I'd be like, are you positive you want to pay $5 million for this? Are you positive? Because I really feel bad doing this to you. Like, yeah. So for me, he's got to go. And I think he's no chance going to go, but I'd sell him if I could.
I told you so.
I didn't rate him.
Yeah,
really
sure. But when you signed him, I was like, first game, I was like, this brother ain't it.
Yeah, you could tell, right?
Like, this brother ain't
in the league. And then he started. He had one run where I was like, okay.
it's the very simple things. It's not like you see with some other players, it feels like they're so exuberant that sometimes they forget to do the simple things, right?
Yeah.
Whereas Rasmus Højlund, I genuinely look at him and I'm like, bro, you don't know how to do those things, bro. Like, I'm looking at him and I'm like, bro, if I lined up against you at a Sunday league game, I would think I'm leaving with something.
I wouldn't be
I would think I'm leaving with a clean sheet, bro.
I'd be like, all right, we're pretty even here. I mean, this is great.
One of his early games, like there was a cross into the box, and he mistimed the jump so bad.
He does
I was like,
so much.
I was like, ain't no way, bro. I was like, because, bro, if me sitting at home, I'm like, damn, bro, like you whiffed the shit out of that header.
I'm not a professional footballer, and I'm telling you, you're way off. I mean, that's crazy.
Like you must have been stinky. And I think the thing that's funny is that, like, for someone who's so busy around center backs, I don't think center backs leave the field feeling like they broke a sweat, bro. Like,
I think center backs come up to play againast Rasmus Højlund, and they're like, bro, I might be able to sit half this game. Honestly.
I'm eating today.
Even if I give him a free run through the goal, he might dribble the ball out of bounds.
Yo, I'm eating today. You're leaving with a sheet cleaner than a virgin's bed, bro.
All right, and to change that subject, you know when Chido Obi came on, I actually thought he looked a little better than Rasmus, and he's 18.
I fully agree, and that's crazy, bro. When Chido played, how did he look better than Rasmus?
I don't think he even was close to looking. He looked like 10 times better than Rasmus, and he didn't do anything. And I was like, all right, this guy can do the simple things. So, yeah. I mean,
right, let's move on. Let's move on to controversial figure. We'll handle one of the controversies now. We'll save the other one for later. Marcus Rashford. What do you want to do, Tate?
He's definitely not getting sold.
You don't think so?
No, I think he is getting sold, but if I'm the manager, he's definitely not getting sold.
Okay.
I am tired of this. I've known from the start what was going to happen when he left this club. If we let this man leave, we are not going to realize what goes on. Like, this man is different. And again, this is how I can tell. There's few players that rival fans talk about and we're like, yeah, I'd take him. And every rival club says that about Marcus Rashford.
Yeah, even an out of form Marcus Rashford. People are like,
well, something. And honestly, I don't think he fits the system really at all.
Because he would have to play striker.
I think he has to start next year. I really do. I don't know who we're going to get otherwise that's going to put up what he's doing. We see Marcus Rashford playing 9 for Aston Villa right now. Whole different system. I completely understand. Whole different environment. Look at him. He looks like he can play 9. He looks like a 9. Why are we not playing him at 9? Why are we not playing him, period? Why was our decision when we decided I really need to save money? I really need to get the bad eggs out. Why was our decision Marcus Rashford and not Alejandro Garnacho? And do you want to know why, Darren? Do you want to know why? Do you want to know why the answer was? The same reason we talked about Romelu Lukaku and Rasmus Højlund. That's the reason. And because he likes to party. So that's the reason. Let's forget that he just fed kids. Let's forget that part. Let's talk about
what did Michael Jordan say? Fuck them kids.
Hey, bro. But in all honesty, I think Marcus Rashford is, again, one of my favorite players, probably one of my favorite players I've ever seen play. I love the guy. I think he's had a really bad time with the club. And I think, Ten Hag really put his arm around him and we saw what happened. But I think the issue with Ten Hag was that, I just don't think he knew what he was doing with this crop of players. I think Ruben Amorim has an idea what he's doing with this crop of players, but I don't think he rates Rashford in his system, which I don't blame him because I think his best position is a left wing and he doesn't really have one of those. But he has to start next year. We don't have a choice. He's coming into the club and he's giving us 6 or 7 goals in his worst season. And right now, we have like one player that's done that, maybe 2. So we need this player. And if you just put your arm around him and you support this guy and you build the squad so that he doesn't have to be the one that tracks back all the time. He's the one that can, he can take some long shots every once in a while. He can go on his outside and try to mega defender and do his thing. Then he's going to succeed. You just cannot do what we're doing with him right now. And I want to finish this by saying I know he's getting sold in the summer. So, I mean, I already know it's coming. And I've already accepted it, but it's not what's best for the club right now. And I think right now, and this might be my bias speaking because I love the guy. And Darren and I also talked about our wingers list after, and we both wished we would have included Rashford. Me more than Darren. Darren was like, kind of joking about it, but I was for real. Like, I wish I would have included him because I know the talent this man has. So, I know it's not going to happen, but if I'm the manager, that's what I'm doing.
Well, not here. I don't think Rashford can play 9 the way United would want him to play 9.
I agree, but
just because, especially Almiron's system, your 9 is your target man. He has to be able to pin center backs back and like bring stuff down. Whereas I think Marcus is more the elusive kind of 9, someone who's going to run the channels and like run in behind. But I think if you're looking across your team, your forwards, bro, he's easily your best forward. Like, if you're talking about production and what their peak output can be, I think he's easily your best forward.
I agree.
I think you have another forward who's more talented than him, like on the ball and creativity. But I think there's a difference with some players. Like certain players, like, yes, you might be nice on the ball, but like some others just have X factor. It might not look as nice when I do my step over. But, bro, I'm doing my step over with a mission. Go put this ball on the corner, and when Marcus Rashford is motivated to do so, bro, he's a freak. So
he's unreal.
It makes sense. Next, Xerxes. What do you want to do, Tate?
Sub. I think the guy's decent. I actually really like Xerxes. I think he's getting so much hate for no. I honestly think he's potentially one of our best signings that we made this summer.
I agree. I think it's very unwarranted hate. And I told you when you signed him, I like Xerxes, bro.
I think he's good.
He's nice and tidy on the ball. I think he's one of the players who's trying to break the mold of go, go, go. Exactly. Like, he tries to like retain possession and like link people up.
We could do a team with Xerxes in it, theoretically, if you think about it, because we could put Kobe Mainu and an Amad Diallo and maybe even like a Mason Mount and that type of realm of player with Xerxes, and I think the play looks a lot better.
I agree. You get enough goal threat.
Exactly, and that's the reason why for me he can't be a starter, because his production and his output isn't there. But we knew this from below. Again, the scouting doesn't make sense to me because he's a good player, and I think he makes sense for a lot of clubs, but not for Manchester United. It doesn't make sense for Manchester United the way we play because he doesn't have the output that we need, and we need that proven output because we don't have it. We're in a squad full of not much proven anything, and but I think he's quality, and I think there's a world where I'd start him if Marcus Rashford doesn't come back. Right now, I'm starting Joshua Xerxes. So, and realistically, Marcus Rashford isn't coming back. So I guess that means I'm starting Joshua Xerxes in a sense. But but that's ideal world. He'd be
until it happens. You can still have Marcus Rashford down as a start.
Yeah.
Sub. I agree. I think Xerxes is good, but like
if you have he's not going to
better forwards at your supply, like I would definitely pick those other forwards. All right, next, Ahmad.
Starts. Question is, if we sign a right wing back, he's going to play Cam, but I don't think we're going to sign a right wing back. So I think he has to play right wing back then. And because I think we're more likely to sign a Cam, I think he's, again, another player that fits Amorim's system well. I think he's a player that the team is built around because I think he's unreal. I love the guy. Again, a player this year that has dug us out of the crap so much. We almost lost to City until Amad Diallo. We almost lost to Southampton until Amad Diallo. I'm excited that I'm going to England and he's going to be potentially healthy, and I might get to see him play because he's like one of my favorite players, and I think he's unreal player. Again, Darren talked about, we were talking, obviously, if people didn't pick up on it, which I don't know how they wouldn't have, but when he was talking about Marcus Rashford and he's like, he's your most talented, but you have someone that might be more technical. Obviously, it was Ahmad. Probably our most technical player on the squad, him and Kobe. So unreal player. Has to start wherever you put him. You could put him potentially anywhere on the field besides center back, and I'd be like, he can start there. So
yeah, I personally would start him in the 10.
I think I agree. I do
by putting so much defensive responsibility on him. But yeah, I think Ahmad's really good. Next, Garnacho. Tate, what do you want to do with
now?
that? Yes. Stinky. Yeah. Also, I want to take something back. I've said previously, Garnacho, Martinelli, 2 cheeks on the same ass. I take it back, bro. Martinelli's better than this brother. Like, Martinelli was going through a funk. So, like, I
don't think Martinelli's good, but
I agree. But Martinelli at least has decision making, bro. Like, Garnacho is non-existent. Like,
what is he good at?
I do stuff when I feel like this is what I should. Well, generally, do you generally think this is how I think he thinks? He gets the ball, right? He closes his eyes. He looks up like this. Then he says, "What would Ronaldo do?"
Yes.
He's like, he says, "What would Ronaldo do?" And then makes a decision. Because that brother on God thinks he's Ronaldo, bro. God, he thinks he is. Like,
he's probably, actually, I take it back. He's priority number 1 for me. He's the player we're getting the most money for.
I agree.
So he has to, and anyone that knows my opinion in this situation knows I'm selling him. He is number 1 for me. The goal is to get him out. Napoli offered 60 million.
Chelsea said, Chelsea said, bro, we'll give you 50 for Garnese. And y'all said, nah, bro.
There is no way we're getting that again. And I would have taken that. I would have been like, does that say 60 million? Are we sure? I'd be like, all right, let's get it in. Cunha's release clause is going to be less than that. Do we realize that? This man is rated by notorious European football higher than Cunha. Do people realize that? And this is why I don't rate the guy so much, because he's the most overrated player in my mind, probably in the entire world, because he is trash. Darren describes him as thinking he's Ronaldo. He does. And he's so far from it. I think he gets the ball and he's like, how can I make a highlight reel? And then he sits down and he's like, wait, the fans on Twitter are telling me this. So, because my brother's been tweeting.
My brother's been
riling them up. I like a few tweets. Mark Goldbridge, I see you. I see you. When you get that manager job, I'm getting number 7. I'm the number 1 player on the team. So he tells me I need to, square a ball a little bit and I'll be better than Rashford. I'll do that. But he squares the ball to Rasmus Højlund. Oh, that's gonna help. No. My winger needs to be able to beat a player 1v1. Garnacho can't do that. My winger needs to cross the ball. Garnacho can't do that. Okay, we can't do both those things. Let's have some end product at least. Because, people could say Rashford now recently, he's not been as great at beating people on the run. He's not the best passer, but he's got end product, right? He's got that flair. Garnacho doesn't have either of those. So then I'm looking and I'm like, can you play a simple pass? Garnacho doesn't have that. Do you work hard? Garnacho rarely does that. And when he does, he makes it out like he's the best thing ever. So again, I look at this guy and I'm like, what is he good at? And I think the issue for me is that the hype around the guy is unreal. And it's not just the hype, it's the club and the fans that think it too. And that's where it's not going to end. I don't think he gets sold this summer. And I don't think Amarim rates him, but Amarim doesn't have a choice but to play him. If I'm the manager right now, I have to play him.
I think, and this is one of the biggest issues with Garnacho for managers, is when you look across United's forwards, none of them run as much as Garnacho.
No.
And so you feel like you have to play him based on the effort he'll put in.
The only one that does is Ahmad, and the reason that Ahmad didn't play is because Ten Hag didn't rate him. And I don't know why, and this is something that I'll never understand. Because Ten Hag rated Kobe Mainoo so highly. And
But we know why Ten Hag didn't rate Ahmad. He got a player for 70 mil.
Yeah, and
he had to stick with him. Like he had to.
And it just doesn't make sense because then we look at Garnacho, right? Garnacho doesn't fit anything that any manager sits here and is like, this is what I want. I don't know a single manager who comes in and says, if I could choose one winger to play the way I want to play, I'm choosing Alejandro Garnacho. Because no one wants that. No one wants that. It's like Rasmus Højlund formed into a winger, except got smaller, less physical, and then had a little bit of flair every once in a while and scored a bicycle kick.
Generally, I watch him play, and it looks like a championship player from the 80s. Like he looks like the best winger in the championship in the 80s.
Dude, that might be a compliment.
No, that's what he looks like. He looks like he beats players based on almost sometimes it feels like he'll make a move on a player and be surprised it worked.
He's like, he's like,
and I think that's why he snatches at a lot of his stuff because like sometimes it's like, oh, the ball bobbled and hit and it's still in front of me, so I'm just gonna lace it. But yeah, bro, that brother is stanky, bro.
And it's his IQ, Darren. It's his IQ is the word, and that's what you said earlier. It's the decision making that
it makes.
If he could make decisions, then
when
I'd be like,
wear it. He doesn't. When he should shoot, he's going for the most extravagant shot. He thinks he's Suarez, bro. He thinks he can put everything.
He scored one bicycle kick, and
bro, Puskas, bro. I don't think you understand. After that goal went in, I was like, oh nah, this is gasoline on the flames, bro.
It is.
He was Ronaldo. Now nobody can tell him he's not.
And he does the CR7 celebration right after. It's like this is he scored it, and I'm losing my mind, right? Because it's one of the best goals I've ever seen. And again, I'm not going to sit here and act like, oh, it was Garnacho. You know, he sucks and he should have never. It was crazy. Yeah. And I'm glad I got to see it, and he should celebrate that, and he should be hype about that. But the issue is that he is just so trash all the other time. And even that season, he was trash all year. Bro. He scored a bike, and it was like, oh. He might be my least favorite player at the club because I think we need to wake up. And Marcus Rashford, I think a lot of people makes me so mad he got sold. He got kept and Marcus Rashford did it, and now Marcus Rashford's out. And
bro, even they chose him over Alonga. Like
and crazy. Alonga's way better.
The thing a lot of people will say is like, oh, Garnacho's young, like give him time. My issue with Garnacho is, bro, you have what 130, 140 Prem appearances for United or something. Like, what are you doing in that time, bro? Or 140 career appearances for United. Like, and that's the thing is that like I think when I saw him at first, he was better than he is now.
He was. And I think you can say that about a lot of United players, but he's regressed so much.
Like, it feels like he's regressed, bro. Like
I think he's gonna get worse. I really do. I think we see him stay next year, and I think there's a point where he's Anthony levels of wanted out by the fan base because I think this brother he's bad. But again, I think there's a chance we sell him. But if I had to put my money on it, I'd say he's here next year. So
word. Next one. You mentioned them earlier. The fidget spinner.
I'm not talking.
The greatest Brazilian player of all time. Anthony, what do you want to do with him, T?
He can get sold. Yeah. Worst business at this club I think I've ever seen. But
you don't think letting Pogba go for free, spending 100 mil and letting him go for free again?
No, I don't think that's as bad. I'm joking.
Lastly,
who is last? Cheeto?
Lastly, A club wants to pay you $5 million to take him back. Jadon Sancho, take because he's still on your books. What do you want to do with him? Kensington's finest.
Shoot, I forgot we might still
Northwest London, stand up.
forgot we might still have.
Jadon
It's so scary when we go through this list, Darren. And you realize how many players I've said to sell, and then you realize how hard it's gonna. Who wants Jadon Sancho? Do I think?
Chelsea said we have an obligation, but guess what? We'll pay you $5 million to take him back.
And you know what's crazy? I think genuinely, I think that goal for Chelsea is giving them a little bit of hope. I think they're like, you know what?
I agree.
And I think the players rate him, so I think there's a chance.
Yeah, and I think the price tag isn't bad, bro.
I agree. I don't think Jadon. We talked about two players right before Jadon Sancho. I think he's better than both of them.
I agree.
I also think in the Amorim system, he works better than potentially every player we're playing in the attack right now. I think he does more for us than. But this brother said, the manager said, you know what? You're not training well. And he said, nah. Nah. He said, this man don't know. This man don't know. I am him. And he's just insane. And then he sat out for 4 months, went on loan, and then the manager said, come back. Come play. Is that not? That's the definition of Manchester United right there. That makes 0 sense, and that's just what we do. So me keeping Jadon Sancho, even if he's decent, would make 0 sense. It would make no sense. So I would never keep him. Now, in an ideal world, would there be a chance for him in Amorim's system? Yes, but in Tate's system, he's never playing. So he can go.
Jadon Sancho, sell.
And Darren, I will back Darren on this. First, when we signed Jadon Sancho, Darren, in our group chat with a few of our friends, you guys met Sebastian. We'll talk about I'm sure Danny will make an episode at one point because we need comedic relief in here sometimes, and we need.
I was gonna call him again on this episode to explain himself on that.
Hey,
we're closing the roof. We're closing the roof. It's gonna be a cauldron of noise.
We'll get Danny on soon because I think that's going to be the relief that the fans need. But Darren did say, he said, first season, under 10 GA, easy.
Under
I think Bro got
5 GA is what
I think Bro got 7 GA. No, I think you said under 5 assists, and he got less than 5 assists. And I was like, and in the moment, I got to be my deluded United self.
Bro, it wasn't just you. Sebastian was like, Darren, you're just a hater.
Yeah, and I think Darren will agree.
Like, Darren, you're just a hater.
I'm the only one that should be allowed to hate on Darren for that take because I'm the United fan. No one else should be saying, Darren, you're crazy for that. I'm allowed to be delusional about my club every once in a while. And I think I've been pretty non-delusional with this.
When I say something, people think I'm trying to say it out of spite. It's just what my eyes see. For a while, I was telling Dom, Joao Felix is not it, bro. Like I've seen this before. I've seen the Instagram flicks and tricks. What is he doing for you? Dom swore he was going to be one of the best players when he matured. Then it came along. Dom said, "Get this brother out of here."
And
hey, man. So I don't mind. I let my takes mature, bro.
Hey,
sometimes you just gotta let it. You just gotta.
I think some of my takes look pretty good, but some of them, you can't have 100% success rate.
You're right. Anyway, let's wrap this episode up. I'm gonna just go through the list of what you wanted to do with every player.
Hey, bro, we might not have a full 11.
Let's start with the players you're selling. Sell, buy in there. Sell Onana, sell Lindelof, sell Malacia, sell Luke Shaw, and selling Johnny Evans, selling Eriksson and Casemiro, selling Hoyland, selling Garnacho, and selling Antony and Sancho.
So
That would be the greatest sales transfer.
could you imagine if that happened? Dude, I would go down in footballing greats if I sold.
That would be
If
the
an agent
greatest
sold
sale.
half of them, they would be the best agent of all time. That's crazy.
On your bench, you have Tom Heaton, Mazarawi, Harry Maguire, Lissandro Martinez, Patrick Dorgu, Diego Dallo, Aiden. No, sorry. Harry Amos, Mason Mount, Ugarte, Toby Collier, Xerxes. Yeah, that's it. That's your bench.
I should have sold more.
And then your starting lineup, or what is left of
All right.
starting lineup.
Let's remember there will be some signings here.
What is left of a starting lineup? You have no goalkeeper.
We're signing. We gotta sign one.
Okay, starting lineup. You have Delict, Lenny Euro, and Aiden Heaven in the back.
I'm okay with that.
In midfield, you have Bruno and Mainu.
Mhm.
And up top, you have Rashford and Ahmad Diallo.
Wait, so I have to sign a right and a left wing back.
Our goalkeeper, right wing back, left wing back, CDM, and a cam.
Holy crap! I need a lot. Wait. Oh no, I could theoretically, right? So here's what I'm saying. United, the striker market sucks, right? We're not getting a good striker. So let's just Rashford at 9,
Okay.
Mainu left 10, right 10. Let's put
Ahmad.
But I low key want Cunha, so we can put Cunha at right 10. Then I can just slide Ahmad right wing back, which isn't great, but we're gonna have a little bit of rotation.
All I'm saying is Cunha and Ahmad on the same side, bro. You ain't getting no defensive work on that end, bro.
No, Ahmad will do a little bit.
A little bit is not enough.
Then we'll get Baleba right center mid.
Okay.
He's covering ground.
You can afford Baleba, Tate.
Yeah, did you see the sales I just put down, Darren?
You're right.
Yeah,
You'll have like 500 mil to play with after
hey,
this.
bro.
Bro,
So
on God,
Baleba-
after all these sales, you might have 40 mil. You might.
Theoretically, do you think all those sales get us more than 150 mil? I really don't think so.
No, I think Lindelof is going for next to nothing.
No, the only players that are getting sold for money are.
I think you would get like 20 mil for.
I don't think we get more.
I think so, bro. I think like Fulham would drop.
Garnacho, we get like 50. I think Sancho, let's say we get that 25. So that's 75. Anthony, we get 15 to 20.
Yeah.
And then we have Onana. I think we can get a good 20 mil from Saudi. Think about this, Saudi. They got.
I also think, bro, like you're gonna have to be honest with yourself. Some of these contracts are just gonna be canceled. Like that's what's gonna happen.
Yeah, like Casemiro. I cancel.
You have to look at certain players and be like, bro.
So let's say I got 150 mil to spend. I think that's somewhat realistic because I'm also gonna have a transfer budget that's already predetermined. So Cunha is like 40 mil, all right, and then I get Baleba, who's probably let's say 80 mil. All right, so that's
120 mil gone.
And I have 150.
Yeah, you have 30 mil left for 3 more positions.
Wait, I have a left wing back and a CD? No, a left wing back, and that's it, and a goalkeeper. All right, so left wing back. I want Ait-Nouri though. All right,
you're not getting Ait-Nouri for anything less than 40 mil, bro.
All right, Cunha can go. We'll get Ait-Nouri left wing back. All right. So then I have for that 10 position and a goalkeeper. Angel Gomez coming on a free.
Goalkeeper. Tell me what goalkeeper you're
Actually, no, Joshua Xerxes can start now, and he'll play. And then you know what we'll do. And then we have like what 40 mil for a goalkeeper. I think we'll be a decent goalkeeper. I don't know enough.
I agree. You could get a decent goalkeeper with that.
So that's the team. That's Tate's team.
All right, bro. I'm sorry y'all wasted an hour and 20-some minutes of your life having to listen to this bullshit. We could have done Arsenal, but it just would not have been as exciting. Like
I think for Arsenal,
a lot of them would be keeps, bro. Like
I honestly think for Arsenal, what we should do because we did a Manchester United one, so we did the depressing one. I think for Arsenal, what would be good, from my opinion, to hear from you is like maybe like a wish list of 5 players that you
I'll
want to
give you that after Munich.
All right.
After Munich.
And that's what I want. So what we'll do, guys, is if they don't make the Champions League final, we're still gonna do this because I think that's gonna
Bro, give Mikel Marino bags of braids to win us a Champions League.
Nice.
Bro, I might not need a striker.
Give him the 14. He's Thierry.
Yes, bro. And he looks like Arteta already, bro. Arteta at striker. Come on, man. All right, y'all. Thank you all for watching this episode. It's been a blast. Hey, tell them what to do before we go, bro.
All right, let's get some likes. Let's get some comments. Let's get some subscriptions. Bro, these likes have been going down. These views have been going down.
Yeah.
Darren and I aren't slowing down.
Ramp it up.
Come on. We need
Got
you
some more content for you. Ramp it up. Ramp it up.
What do you want us to do, guys? I mean, we're posting on our stories. You tell us what to do. We need to
the
know.
comment section.
Let us know. Sebastian, I love you, but let's get someone besides Sebastian in here too. Come on. The man was on our show.
Let's have conversations with themselves in our comments.
Hey, bro, he's liking his own comments too. We need someone helping him out, bro.
We need more.
But for real. Thanks for
watching. Yeah, we'll see you soon. Peace.
Tate, I wouldn't be wanting to spend this moment with anybody else but you. Take my hand. Take my hand. Take my hand. Take my hand. Aw, Tate. My first kiss was the African sun, no tongue.